Hey everybody, this is D Hunter, bringing another action figure review. Today, we're going to look at the NECA Chucky TV series Good Guy 7-inch scale action figure blind box. There are 6 different possible Chucky figures you can get from here. If you order the bundle from the NECA store, you're guaranteed to get all 6 of them, which includes Good Guy Chucky, Buff Chucky, Colonel Chucky, Masked and Bound Chucky, Execute Chucky, and Bloody Holiday Chucky. Let's take a look at the packaging, which is going to be the same on every single one. It's a blind box, meaning you don't know which one's going to be in the box. Hopefully, NECA came through and gave me 6 different ones. Good Guys, he wants to be your best friend. Hi, I'm a good guy, let's play. Old school Chucky doll packaging. You see a bunch of different sort of variations of Chucky on the side. NECA. The back, here he is. A bunch of other stuff. At the bottom, there's his barcode, but it's really probably too small to see and make out, and the barcode is the same on all of the figures. So with no further ado, let's open them up and check them out. Alright, now that we got these figures out of the package, here they are laid out in front of you with all the accessories. Only 2 of the figures come with actual accessories, and that is Colonel Chucky and Bloody Holiday Chucky. In front of you, we have 6 different blind box Chucky figures. Masked and Bound Chucky, Colonel Chucky, Good Guy Chucky, Buff Chucky, Execute Chucky, and Bloody Holiday Chucky. In this video, we're going to take a look at the figure, accessories, height, articulation, and then compare them with a bunch of other action figures. But first, I kind of want to talk about the whole concept of blind box Chucky figures. Now, NECA figures are not cheap, and these don't cost nearly as much as their Ultimate figures. But to be paying, I don't know, $20 each or whatever it is for a blind Chucky figure that you may or may not already have, I don't really think this is going to do very well at the stores. If it was something cheaper, a little bit smaller, maybe $5, I could kind of see it working, but I'd be kind of pissed if I spent $20 just to get the same figure twice, or 3 or 4 times. If you wanted to get all 6 of these and you're buying them randomly, it could be really hard. Who knows if they're all evenly split case ratios, if one of them is short. Buying this bundle off the NECA store is the most intelligent way if you want the entire collection, but if you're going to go to Target stores and try to get them, you could spend a bunch of money. Of course, Target has a pretty liberal return policy, so you could probably make it all work, but still, it's not the point. There's no way besides this bundle at the NECA store, which has been sold out for a while, to get all 6 guaranteed in one fell swoop. So these guys are based off the Chucky TV show, which is in the original Chucky continuity. They had the reboot film, which, as I understand, wasn't very good and did not do very well, and we're going back to the original canon. So let's go ahead and start off with the most traditional, the Good Guy Chucky. So here's Good Guy Chucky. Good Guy is sort of the doll company. He was called a Good Guy doll and is supposed to be your best friend, talks and all that fun stuff, except the Chucky from the first film had the sort of soul of some old killer inside of him. And of course, it led to many sequels and even a reboot. Now, I'm truly shocked that these guys don't come with accessories, each and every one of them. I was sure they would all come with at least an extra pair of hands and some sort of a killing weapon. It does not make the value of these guys very good. At the NECA store, the bundle costs about $150, and that put them at about $25 each. If they're going to cost $25 each at the store, and you don't know what you're going to be getting, and they don't have accessories, it is not a good value at all. And really, they're all pure reuse off each other. I mean, yes, there are differences in the head sculpt and even some body differences, but it just does not strike me as a good value at all. Anyway, that being said, I'm still happy to have these. It's cool to have a big army of Chucky dolls, and it kind of makes me wish I had gotten some of the other releases way back in the day, but when they first released Chucky, I thought I just want one version, a regular version, and they just kept making more and more and more, and I didn't feel like I needed them, and, in hindsight, I kind of wish I'd collected them all. But it is what it is. So, here's a look at Chucky, Good Guy doll from the TV show. The main difference is his hair is considerably longer than the original film version. He has that sort of doll or toyetic look, big smiling face, big wide open eyes, and he's a ginger. And they say have no souls, but this guy actually has the soul of a serial killer inside of him. His little overalls say good guy in them. all kind of little sort of pictures of children toys, etc. He's got the striped shirt, signature to Chucky. Single jointed elbow, single jointed knees. He is a fully articulated figure, even though it's this small. I mean, the hair sculpt is pretty good. There's a lot of good things to say about this guy, but I'm pretty sure it's the same body from the original release. And, I mean, I don't really know what you're going to upgrade on this guy because it is what it is. You don't need to have an ab crunch and double jointed elbows and knees and all that stuff. It would just look kind of awkward, and with how small he is, probably make it kind of prone to breaking. He's got the freckles on the face. I mean, it looks good. It looks pretty accurate to what I wanted a Chucky figure. And a closer look at his face and head sculpt, I mean, it looks like a toy. It is a toy, but it looks like a toy that's supposed to be of a toy, not of a regular person, and they did a pretty good job of pulling it off. I mean, I like the hair, I like the face, looks very happy-go-lucky. And on any of these figures, you can remove the hands and the head, even though you don't have anything to replace them with, but that's because they're done with the original mold, which had swappable parts. And I guess if you do end up getting numerous of the same figure out of these blind boxes, if you have previous Chucky figures, you can take those heads and kind of mix and match and make plenty of different versions. Now let's check out this figure's height and articulation. And I'm only going to check it out with this guy because it's pretty much going to be identical on all the figures. So, from bottom to the top of his head, standing about 4.1 inches tall, which can translate to about 10.5 centimeters. Now he's about 4 inches tall, but he's still part of a 7-inch scale action figure line because Chucky is a small doll. And for his articulation, let's start with his head. It's an articulation at the base of the neck. You can rotate around. He can look forward and back about that much. He can tilt his head the littlest bit from side to side, but the hair is going to prevent him from doing more. Shoulders, a ball joint goes out about 90 degrees. Up, down, around. He's got a single jointed elbow. Goes in about 90 degrees with rotation. His wrists can rotate and it's hinged as well. Torso is one solid piece. He's got sort of ball joints in the legs. Rotate out. They can rotate at least a little bit. Go forward about that far. You can see his sort of little onesie is not connected from front to back, but that's going to help the articulation. Go out about that far. Back not much. Single jointed knee, once again with rotation. And his ankle. Forward and back tiniest bit. Rotate. And tilt rock tiniest bit as well. And now to check out the differences and reuse between this Good Guy Chucky from the TV show Blind Box and the original movie version. So, the head is a different sculpt. It might just be the hair, but you can see the differences between the TV show and the movie version. Then the overalls are a different color. These are a lot sort of more faded looking. You can read Good Guys a little better though. They have the same striped shirt, but it's painted differently. It does look to be the same sculpt for the base body, as well as the overalls, all the way down to the shoes. And it doesn't really need to be a new sculpt. I'm okay with this kind of reuse. Now to look at Bound and Gagged Chucky. I personally call him Hannibal Lecter Chucky because that's definitely what he reminds me of. He's got that little muzzle, those psycho eyes. Screams Hannibal Lecter. He's tied up, and I could remove all the rope, and he would have full articulation, but I have absolutely no intention of doing that. I'm going to keep this guy as is because it's a pretty cool display piece, and it's supposed to be this way. Now the mask itself is not removable. It is sculpted onto the face there. And the rope is sort of movable. It's not stretchy. It's more or less like twine tied at the back here. And a closer look at his face and head sculpt. Those eyes really sells a figure. Very, very creepy. Next, we have Colonel Chucky, and he comes with a machete, a killing device. And of course, you can use it for most of the figures, except most of them don't have a gripping hand, but you can pop out his hand and they're interchangeable between each of the different Chucky characters. When I first looked at him, he's got the bald head, the dog tags. I thought it's Gangster Chucky, but no, it's Colonel Chucky. Dog tags like in the military. His outfit has blood all over it. It's dirty, stained. Same articulation scheme. You can see the dog tags tied around his neck. And he's got that kind of ugly bald mug. And a closer look at his face and head sculpt. Does look weird, a Chucky doll with no hair. But not as weird as some of the next figures. And he does have some other sculpting differences. You can see his sleeve here, sort of ripped. Not clean like the good guy version. Next, we have Buff Chucky. I call him Swole Chucky. He's busting out of his outfit, so let's take a closer look. Got that angry head, sort of screaming, trying to intimidate you. You can see his freaking pecs and abs. Shirt ripped, overall hanging down. He's ready to fuck someone up. Could you imagine getting your ass kicked by a guy like this? Looks like he has the sort of clean outfit. A little bit of extra stuff sort of hanging off of his elbow here. His shirt is ripped. He probably ripped it off himself to show off. And a closer look at this one's face and head sculpt. Sort of angry and screaming. And now we have Executed Chucky. Chucky, he looks kind of brain dead. Eyes just sort of limp. His mouth is just ripped open. You can see his tongue, and it is utterly disgusting and disturbing. Blood is dripping from his mouth down to the front of his shirt, and his overalls going all the way down. I mean, it's pretty messed up to look at. It looks like something from Dawn of the Dead, mixed with a child, mixed with a Chucky doll. Looks like he has the same sort of clean outfit, so that's going to be pure reuse from the good guy version, except for the head. And a closer look at his face and head sculpt. That is just sick and deranged. His entire mouth and cheek is just missing. And finally, here is the last of the 6 blind box Chucky figures. This is the Holiday Bloodied Up Chucky. This one has alternate hands and a chainsaw. And if you want to use the alternate hands with other figures, you can, but these ones have blood all over them, which is appropriate to most of the figures. So, we have this chainsaw here. It is covered in blood. The sculpt is pretty nice. And then we have the actual figure. Now, once again, he has a pretty sick and twisted head. Clearly, this one's taken the chainsaw and gone straight down the middle, and both through the top and the bottom. His eyes look shocked, his mouth is open, and he's just covered with blood. And if you look at his outfit, he is doused with blood. I mean, complete top part is soaked red, and it gets a little bit more normal as you go further down. The sculpt looks to be the clean version from Good Guy. But man, look at that head. My word. And a closer look at his face and head sculpt, which might be the most sick and deranged of all these figures. I thought the last one was bad, and then look at this one. I mean, just look at that. That's just a big bloody mess. Here's this Chucky holding onto that chainsaw, which is kind of oversized for him, but that's because he's a small little doll holding a life-size chainsaw. And then here's a look at my entire Chucky collection. We have the 6 blind box figures, and then 5 other ones that I have in my collection, making a pretty cool Chucky army and display. Now let's check them out. Next is some other action figures, starting off with some other NECA Chucky figures. So, here are these 6 blind box Chucky figures. Gagged and Bound, Colonel Chucky, Good Guy Chucky, Buff Chucky, Executed Chucky, and Bloody Holiday Chucky. Here they are, with my favorite Chucky figure. This is NECA's Ultimate Chucky from the first film, which I consider to be the definitive Chucky figure out there. And he has the best Good Guy package to put him inside. And then here he is with the beat up, damaged Chucky from the Chucky and Tiffany 2-pack. Then we have the Bloody Holiday Chucky from last year's Christmas. This is a much more convincing Bloody Holiday Chucky than the one on the far right. And then here they are, next to the Surf Stuff Chucky. This is a San Diego Comic-Con exclusive that came out a month or two ago. And here they are, with the Ultimate TV Show Chucky. Now, this guy really goes along nice with the set of 6, as he's from the same TV show. He has longer hair and a little bit more of an angry face. This guy was decked out with accessories, unlike these blind box figures, giving me an awful lot of Chucky figures. An army of Chucky dolls going on a murderous rampage. It is a terrifying thought indeed. And then here they are with Tiffany from the Chucky and Tiffany 2-pack. Now let's check them out next to some other NECA horror figures. Here they are next to some other NECA smaller horror figures. We have Sam from Trick or Treat and Annabelle from The Conjuring. Annabelle is another sort of killer doll, similar but different to Chucky. Here they are with some older NECA horror figures. These are some NECA Universal Monster figures. The Mummy, Frankenstein's Monster, Dracula, and the Wolfman. Then, with some more modern horror icons, Freddy, Jason, Michael Myers, and Leatherface. And normally this would be where I would compare them with action figures from different various companies, but the truth is, I don't really think it's necessary. This figure is about 4 inches tall, so I think he'll work out with your 6-inch or your 7-inch, or hell, even your 8-inch action figures. This is a pretty wild set. If you get all 6 of these guys, I find the Executed and Holiday one very disturbing. The Hannibal Lecter one, a little bit creepy as well. And then the Buff and the Gangster one, or rather the Colonel one, not really scary, but kind of interesting. And then, of course, the classic good guy version. But man, that Executed, that Holiday one, those things look sick and deranged. I think it's a pretty cool idea, getting an army of Chucky dolls, and having diversity in them is pretty cool as well. If I were to rate the set, I'd probably give it like a 6 out of 10. What would have really helped would be if they had accessories. Each of these figures should have 1 pair of hands and at least 1 killing weapon. I think that would make the value considerably better. And I'm not really a fan of the blind box thing. I don't like buying figures and not really knowing what you're going to get. If you really know what you're doing, well, if they were in bags, you could feel them and figure out which one they are, but they're in boxes to prevent you from doing that. If it was a cheapo thing for like $5, it could be fun, but the price gotta be $20-25 for these guys, and that makes it not as much fun to gamble. I'm glad NECA offered this bundle, but I don't think anywhere else is offering this, at least not to my knowledge. Still, it's a cool set. It's cool to have every single one of these in one fell swoop and not have to pay extra. But now I have, what is that, freaking like 9 Chucky figures. Well, army of Chuckies. I gotta get weapons for all of them and be able to have them march in a line. So this is D Hunter. Thank you for watching. If you liked the video, press like below. If you have anything you want to say about the video, add to the comment section. If you want to see additional action figure reviews from me, press subscribe. I do appreciate when you do that. Once again, this is D Hunter. Thank you for watching, and I'll talk to you guys real soon.